Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, Ripple just moved a ton of XRP, 31 million XRP in fact, as the third quarter of the year comes to a close. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm also going to, I got a few topics here actually, so we're going to cover that. I'm going to talk a little bit about XRP price. I'm going to be probably pretty brief on that. Also, there's malware out there, and guess what? Somebody wants to steal your XRP and other cryptocurrencies, so I'm going to cover that. And then the last piece I'm going to cover, have you heard about the major train wreck? Yeah, it's called Lightning Network. Check this out. Bitcoin Lightning Network's vulnerabilities, full disclosure released, detail exploitation of channels. Oh, lovely Layer 2 technology, which is not even needed with XRP. But anyway, before we get going here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. Ripple just moved 31 million XRP, worth about $7.4 million, to its over-the-counter, OTC, distribution wallet. The San Francisco-based startup uses the OTC wallet to sell portions of its XRP holdings to third parties such as crypto exchanges and institutions. And so this was reported by that Whale Alert Twitter account yesterday. The latest movement comes just before the close of the third quarter, which ends on September 30th. So far this quarter, the company appears to have sold about 99 million worth of XRP, which is valued about 24.1 million right now, according to the crypto wallet tracker Whale Alert. Ripple, which owns more than half of the total supply of XRP, with most of it locked in escrow, sells portions of its holdings to fund its business and to invest in the XRP and distributed ledger ecosystem at large. Now, if that number is indeed correct, that 99 million that I just cited, yeah, they're definitely selling less than they had in the previous quarter, which is what they said they were going to do. Once Ripple realized the way in which volumes were being reported by entities such as CoinMarketCap and there are others, of course, they realized maybe the percentage of XRP that we're selling in terms of trade volume needs to be adjusted a little bit. And not that they were selling to anyway, even prior to this quarter, it's not that they were selling to some extent that would have dampened XRP price. It's very clear that XRP price is suppressed thanks to the movements of Bitcoin primarily, because let's be real, all cryptocurrencies are tethered together in terms of price action. But even so, they saw that it was necessary to make a slight adjustment, and assuming these numbers are correct, that seems to be the case. Now, we'll have the third quarter report at some point in October, of course. It usually takes them, from what I've noticed, it's usually a few weeks after the beginning of a quarter, and then they'll release it. So they take their time and kind of putting it together, which is perfectly fine. But I always look forward to reading that. As soon as I get that, it's excitement from Moon Lambo. It's like Christmas morning. We get to read an XRP markets report from Ripple. Anyway, Ripple's investment arm Spring just revealed its latest acquisition, buying the decentralized payments company Logos Network for an undisclosed sum. The purchase is expected to help Ripple create a series of XRP-based decentralized finance platforms, including derivatives, futures, and loans, which I did mention yesterday. Here's a quote. As part of Spring, the Logos team will be leading an ongoing initiative to explore a decentralized financial DeFi system that will leverage XRP at its core, as well as other ideas we are exploring to leverage crypto to transform payments and finance. The Logos team will bring even more horsepower to what the Spring team can deliver. And I freaking love this. I was very excited to report on this yesterday because it's just another use case for XRP. It's something that's done in traditional finance, and you can do it in the world of crypto too. It's a legit use case. Ripple says Spring will operate its DeFi products department out of the company's office in New York. So cool stuff here. All right, let me be brief about this price stuff here. Okay, so the market cap for the asset class, $217 billion, Bitcoin's at $8,147, XRP's at 24.26 cents. And over the last 24 hours, the low was a little below 24 cents at 23.94 cents, and the high was 24.4. So here is a piece from AMB Crypto, written by Namratas Shukla. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I covered. So she's their chart analyst here. on XRP, and I reported on it yesterday. Her opinion, because I don't do charts, so all I can do is share the opinions of others that know or pretend to know what they're talking about in some cases. And so her stance yesterday was that not definitively stating where things are going, but did seem to think that long term it was more likely things would end up bullish, and just one day later it sounds a little bit different. So here's the headline: XRP's bullish fake out leads to more bearish intrusion. Okay. The volatile crypto market saw the price of XRP suffering for 5 consecutive days, even though this fall was expected much sooner. After slipping, however, XRP returned to its comfortable price of 24.07 cents at press time, with a market cap of 10.46 billion. The short-term chart for XRP reflected it breaching an imminent bearish pattern, which then resonated with the pattern to cause the price of XRP to tumble. And so I don't want to go through all the technical analysis. I think it's outside of the scope what is reasonable for this channel. So I just want to get the sentiment across. And then the conclusion here by Namrata is, according to the busted breach of the descending triangle, XRP reported strong growth followed by an immediate correction. The trend in the XRP market remains bearish. And look, I'm telling you, like, Bitcoin can sneeze and XRP will crash, along with every other altcoin. So what I still like... I still think on a much larger scale, given how immature this asset class is, it still seems always kind of silly to try and figure this out. Okay, let me clarify what I mean. It can be reasonable to do chart analysis in the short term with cryptocurrencies, but let's just not pretend that these cryptocurrencies are truly independent of Bitcoin. They're not operating genuinely in a vacuum. And so something happens with Bitcoins and just throw all of your TA for all of your cryptocurrencies out the window, all of your altcoins, right? So that's just my 2 cents on it anyway. All right, so check out this piece. This affects you if you hold cryptocurrency. Specifically, XRP is included in here. Look at this headline. New malicious malware stealing crypto funds. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Cardano, and Monero users targeted. So... that's not cool. A new Trojan-delivered spyware identified on black market forums as the Mossad Clipper and Stealer is stealing cryptocurrency, private passwords, and credit card information. The malware, discovered by Juniper Threat Labs, automatically replaces crypto wallet addresses copied to the clipboard with its own address in order to steal users' funds. Juniper's blog post claims. Mossad Stealer sends all of the information it collects through a Telegram bot controlled by the threat actor. Because Mossad is being sold as off-the-shelf malware, it will most likely be deployed by multiple threat actors. And the piece continues. The malware works on the Windows operating system and targets wallet addresses if they match a list of coins. Juniper's researchers have found that Mossad Stealer can replace Bitcoin, Monero, Cardano, Ether, Dash, XRP, Litecoin, and several other cryptocurrency addresses in order to transfer users' funds to the hacker's address. So far, Juniper says the Bitcoin address connected to the malware contains more than $9,000 worth of Bitcoin. After the malware installs itself on victims' computers, it begins trying to steal personal information, including the user's crypto wallet addresses and credit card information, as well as general PC and system info. Oh my God. This falls under the category of what my grandpappy used to say, which is that people are no damn good. The malicious program also tries to gather users' Discord and Telegram data. Mossad Stealer then compresses all the files and sends them to the thief's computer system. Based on our telemetry, Mossad Stealer's main distribution vectors are masquerading as a legitimate tool or bundling themselves into third-party tools. Threat actors achieve end-user downloads by advertising in forums, on third-party download sites, or on file sharing sites. And it states you can find the full list of malware containing software to avoid here. So if you're copying and pasting, from what I gathered having covered this, if you're going to paste your cryptocurrency, I'm sure, look, we've all done that, right? When you're moving a cryptocurrency around, just check it. Before you hit send, make sure that what you just pasted is what you thought was supposed to be pasted. And it sounds like that might go a long way in case you actually got hit with this malware. But Man, people suck sometimes, man. Like this is a really crappy thing to do. Hey, all right, last piece here. Train wreck time. Bitcoin Lightning Network's vulnerabilities. Full disclosure released. Details. Exploitation of channels. The Lightning Network's full vulnerabilities were recently disclosed by Rusty Russell, Blockstream core tech engineer. The report stated that an attacker can claim to open a channel but either not pay to the peer or not pay the full amount. The report added that once the vulnerabilities were discovered, it was reported to the most widely used implementations, Eclair and 1ND, resulting in both the implementations finding similar vulnerabilities. Succeeding this, the team made the decision to fix security issues and disclose information about it after a majority of the users had upgraded to the latest release. And so here's a quote. While this long-standing bug had not been independently discovered, and thus was unlikely to be discovered by a malicious party before being fixed, it did provide an opportunity to test communications and methods of upgrade across the entire Lightning ecosystem. Just use XRP, guys. Just use XRP, and then we don't have to worry about this crap. All right, Lightning Network is a second-layer scaling technology for Bitcoin, and that's actually not true. It's not just for Bitcoin. If that's the coin that they want to promote and that's what they feel they're doing it for, super duper. But Lightning Network works for almost any cryptocurrency, including XRP. So this is not something that will just fundamentally only help the Bitcoin. Anyway. So second layer, scaling technology for Bitcoin, not correct, but anyway, which enables instant and low-cost payments. Well, maybe if it worked, it would. The first beta version was released by Lightning Labs in March 2018. The initial announcement about the security issues discovered in various Lightning implementations was made on August 30th. The report stated that there were 3 releases that were effective, and then they cite what they were. I don't need to read those. I don't think it matters for the sake of this explanatory purposes of this video. And in order to mitigate the risk of losing funds, users were urged to upgrade to version 0.7.1 immediately. In the report, Rusty Russell said, quote, Lightning Network's common vulnerabilities and exposures, CVE, page announced that security issues were discovered in various Lightning projects, which could have resulted in loss of funds. And then the piece continues here. This was soon followed by another report on September 10th, with Russell stating that there were confirmed instances of the CVE being exploited in the wild, and that users had to upgrade it in order to keep their funds safe. Additionally, Russell stated that they had limits in place on the network in order to ensure that there was no widespread loss of funds. The complete disclosure of the vulnerability, released on September 27th, spoke about the problem as, quote, a Lightning node accepting a channel must check that the funding transaction output does indeed open the channel proposed. Otherwise, an attacker can claim to open a channel, but either not pay to the peer or not pay the full amount. Once that transaction reaches the minimum depth, it can spend funds from the channel. The victim will only notice when it tries to close the channel, and none of the commitment or mutual close transactions it has are valid. And aren't you glad? Because I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you're an XRP community member, and you probably are as knowledgeable and pumped about XRP as me. And you understand that XRP is so damn quick, you don't need to deal with any of this crap. Just have superior Layer 1 technology, and you're perfectly fine. Oh, my Lord. That's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!